It's a beautiful, bright and crisp day today down here in Eden. I've only got an hour though. It's coming up for 3:30 I think at the moment, and it goes dark at 4:30. So yeah, we're going to take a look at what we've got growing on and what the situation is with the seed starts. As you know, we've started several seeds over the last month or so, and we'll do a little bit of a catch-up on that, I think. But first, as Blue Star Dave says from Dave's Allotment, we're going to put the kettle on and we're going to have a cup of tea. There we are, 2 bags of PG tips, into which the freshly boiled water. I like PG tips, I've always liked PG tips. I'm not fussy, mind you. I can have other brands, even Yorkshire tea. I'll choke it down, you know what I mean? But, yeah, leave that to steep for about a minute. And I'll give it a bit of a twizz round and a squash. And then put the milk in. Cushy. Lovely. Okay. Find me in the potting shed. It's Tuesday, November the 10th, 2020, and as I say, we're going to take a quick look at the seed starts and the plants that we've got growing on for overwintering. You'll see how they're getting on. Okay, I'll take you up to the Tiki tunnel now, and we can take a look. Okay, so let's see what we've got going on in the Tiki tunnel. Yeah. Okay, several crops growing on in here. That's the cauliflower. So there's the winter cauliflower that's coming through. I think it's just an all the year round collie that we got in there. We've got 7 in at the moment. That one's struggling a little bit, but it's quite a stout little plant, that, when you look at it. Not too bad, is it? Seems to be doing okay. The slugs have been dealt with. Obviously, we are still using. Oh, we just did one application that you can see is going furry there of the slug pellets, but it's done the trick. It's keeping those slugs off to a certain degree. What the hell's that? What's that? It's a twig, some sort of a twig. It's a stubborn twig, there we are. It's gone. My beautiful babies, defacing them. We've got the onions in there. That's the Shenshu Japanese overwintering onions in here, which may well be going outside. Somebody did comment the other day that I'm killing them with kindness, having them inside here, so I might be taking those outside. That's the garlic that's in there. Casablanca. Again, we've got the Casablanca in there, the white Casablanca overwintering garlic. And you can see from that there's 18 in the buckets. Again, they may well be going outside. In fact, they will be going outside, these. That is the plan, to get them outside. These will be staying in there just as a comparison, just to see the difference between indoors and outdoors over winter. But we are going to be getting these babies in. Because they're ready for going and planting on now. Purple sprouting broccoli. We've got the F1 Spring Hero cabbage. And then we've got the kale in there, which is the winter boar kale. Okay, now they are going to be planted on into the buckets. And also outside as well. So I'm going to be planting some outside in beds. And we're going to be having them in here as well. And in the Lady Farmer's greenhouse where we did the slug fort. These peas and dwarf broad beans are doing very well. They're all coming through, bouncing along. I've got a sneaking suspicion that I didn't put any beans in that, and I put 2 lots in that instead. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? It looks like I've got 4 in there and none in there. Anyway, that one's not popped up, and neither's that. But we have got quite a few of the Sutton dwarf broad beans. Excuse me. It's not COVID, I can assure you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Have I counted correctly there? Yeah, I have. 13. So 13 of the broad beans. They're going to be getting into these 30-litre big handled buckets that you can see there. So we're going to get those in there, the broad beans. The peas, same situation with the peas. So I'm going to be doing the 2 of the buckets, 1 for the peas, 1 for the broad beans, and we'll see how we get on with those. That's the upside down versus right way up garlic challenge there. And as you can see, the upside down ones, the other day they were considerably smaller than the right way up ones, but now they're not. They're all sort of catching up with each other and looking fine and dandy. Those were the cloves that were planted snouts down and bums up. These were the traditional way of bums down and snouts up. But as you can see, bulbs will grow whichever orientation you put them in. That tobacco plant's not looking very good. It's looking like it's got issues, that. So, okay, never mind, eh? Mick's got plenty of tobacco over there, I'll buy it off him. Onions. Again, the Senshu, they're ready for going out. Spring onions, they're going to be staying in there for quite some more considerable time before they get planted on, but they're all coming through nicely in the little neat rows there, as you can see. They're unfolding and spreading their wings. As far as the spinach goes, the spinach again is probably going to be needing to be potted on shortly. But we'll see how we get on with that, because there's the red vein spinach, there's Amazon, Trombone, and Giant Winter. These are also Giant Winter there at the side, but the Giant Winter doesn't seem to have been as forthcoming. Maybe they were old seeds, but the red vein, the Amazon and the Trombone are doing fine. They're all right. Got plenty there. More onions at the back there. They're all going to be set out this weekend. I'm going to put them all and plant them all outside this weekend, all of these, and fill up another bed with those onions. We'll have plenty of alliums come springtime, God willing. And as I say, there's the other brassicas, the cabbage, the broccoli, and the kale. We've also put a scattering inside this tub of rocket. Trizia rocket, wild Trizia rocket. And you can see there that the seedlings are just poking through now. So that's probably going to be taken as a sort of young veg, as baby green. We'll just cut and come again with that. So right, that's the Tiki tunnel, boys and girls. The Tiki tunnel, made predominantly from recycled trampoline frames, and scavenged wood, the majority of that. And I love it. Moving on to the big super duper deep potato bed. This is our main crop potato bed under normal circumstances, but over winter, again, we've got the garlic in there, we've got the white Casablanca. There's 25 white Casablanca cloves planted in there. Beetroot again, which I think we're going to be harvesting this weekend as small beets. So there's the beets. Some chard, more chard, and more beets, multicoloured mix of beets down here. The elephant garlic hasn't popped up yet, and I'm beginning to feel like the elephant garlic isn't going to pop up. Planted 7 cloves of elephant garlic in there, but I don't think it's been too successful on the old germination, do you lads and lasses? Doesn't look it, does it? Got plenty of peas still on that, and plenty of blossom still coming onto the pea barrel that you can see there. They're doing okay. They're starting to plump out. I mean, if they don't plump out, we can just take them as pods, as mange tout. And there's our little herb garden: rosemary, thyme, sage. These are the Welsh onions, but I think they've gone. The Welsh onions don't seem to be doing much. Probably shaded out by that sage or something like that. What else have we got to show you? Yeah, there's our onion and garlic bed there that we did the other day. And everything's coming through nicely. As you can see, the best part of 100 alliums growing in there. There's another wayward beetroot. I took out all the French beans from here when I stored away all the canes the other day. So they're all taken out. I've got to weed and chop up that bed. Get rid of all this detritus here, which is the old. I'll look through and see if there's any mature bean pods that I can keep and take the beans from, take the French beans from. That's the only one that's sort of semi-decent there, which is some Caballero de Nero kale. But there's only one that survived the onslaught of the slugs, unfortunately. So all that's going to be sorted and that's going to be taken out. In this bed, which is the Tiki tunnel bed, again, we've got beets that are looking like they've been attacked by the leaf miner savagely, which they have. So yeah, that's going to be probably pulled. More garlic, more chard, more garlic, more onions in here. If you look underneath this one, they're coming through. These are the red electric that are planted out, but the other ones, the Senshu ones that are planted, aren't doing so spectacularly. We've not had as good of a firing on them, certainly as we've had on these. I mean, look at these garlics, pow! Right, and that's where we're up to. So yeah, our sort of autumn salad bed is still looking quite vibrant, but we've got some sort of frosty issues, I think, going on with the beets down there. So I'm going to check on those beets. It looks like they're getting bulbs at the bottom. So we'll take those as baby beets, I think, and let the rest of it carry on. Take all this slug damage stuff out from this side. This has been devastated by the slugs, but there must be such a preponderance there in the middle that it's not getting affected as much. Some of these are bolted and going to seed as well, so I'll take those out. We'll get quite a few of that out this week and dealt with, leaving the chards to carry on. We've got 2 rows of chard there, so I'm going to leave those to carry on, I think, and just keep an eye on the chard. So we're up to the top timber greenhouse that I made, the 4mm twin wall clear polycarbonate one, which we had the tomatoes and the peppers and the cucumbers in earlier. Now in that, this is our comparison bed where we've got the shop bought garlic, which is just off the shelf garlic from the supermarket, as opposed to the seed garlic. Now looking at this, I think the results are clear. There ain't no difference really, but the cloves that we planted into there were a lot bigger. Now this is looking like it does want to have a bit more liquid in it, so I'm going to water these, I think, and give them a top up. So that'll be getting 20 litres of water of the full bed there, which is an 8 foot by sort of 18-inch bed. So on either side of that, you're going to have 4 feet by 18 inches, and we're going to give that a full 10 litre can, and then leave it again for another 3 or 4 weeks, and just keep an eye on the moisture levels. We don't want to oversaturate it, but we don't want to let anything dry out, because the leaves, the roots are going to be under there establishing themselves for the next to prepare the plant for the next sort of 3-4 months. But you can see from that, and this is the shop bought stuff, the white garlic and then the Casablanca seed garlic, there doesn't really seem to be much of a difference. They've all come through. This one's just decided it's going to come through. So on each side of that, you've got 18 cloves that hopefully will turn into 18 bulbs on each side, and you go with your 36. Yeah, so we'll have 36 bulbs hopefully out of there. As I say, the shop bought garlic seems to be doing absolutely fine, no issues. Excuse me. Yeah, that's what we've got growing on at the moment down here at the little farmer's farm. A lot of that will be grown all over winter. The leafy vegetables will be taken as they're coming up, and all the rest of it's going to be left to grow to full fruition. We'll get that rocket as well. Might get some more salads in actually. See what I've got to plant out salad wise. But that's what we've got growing at the moment. Not as good as we wanted it, but we'll get there. Next year, I'll be a lot more set up. I'm going to have another one of those trampoline framed polytunnels. I'm going to be doing one of those in the new year. Maybe here, in this area. But that remains to be seen. I've got to do my plans. I'm going to be doing my plot plans. That's going to be coming up in the next couple of days, in the same way that Joe does. And so we can allocate the land for what we're going to be growing next year. Alright, boys and girls, catch you later on. Loads more work to do tomorrow, so there'll be plenty to look at graft-wise tomorrow. But until I see you, take care. Bye-bye.